Well, good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rob. Hope you're having a wonderful trading day today. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you'd please go ahead and type the number one in the questions box. Let me know that you can. I would appreciate it. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, sir? Helen, good afternoon. Hey, Amos, how are you? Grant, good morning or afternoon. Good, glad to hear it, Jeff. Glad to hear it. Yeah, Roman, I appreciate it. Sorry about the cancel last week. It was just something that had to be done, guys. And I taught Immunity Think Tank that night, and now I was feeling a little bit under the weather, but that wasn't the reason I couldn't teach. When I first learned how to trade, guys, my first goal of why I was trying to trade was to get out of my job. Right? Absolutely hated what I did. My boss had threatened me, saying that if he fired me, I'd be out in the street with my brand new baby, which was back in 1997, right? My brand new baby, my second child, and my other one who was 3. And that's it. I live and breathe because he allows me to, and there was no way I was going to deal with that. So anyway, once you reach the status that you want, you're able to leave that job and you want to start trading full time, guys, there's more to it than just the money. It's what the money will do for you, right? And there's a family member that needed our help, my help in particular, ours. They needed our families, needed our help, my help, and I was able to drop everything that I was doing last week on Monday and get over there and help them out. And pretty important stuff. It was a big deal for them. So that's why I wasn't here. But that's really one of the things that you want to consider is it's not just about you. If you can free yourself from the slavery of having to work that job, think of what the potential is of what you can actually do in your life. And when I say that, I mean for others, right? Not that, oh man, I get to play more golf or I get to fish more. That may be great. That's not what I'm referring to, right? And again, I'll go back to, is he here yet? No, Tripp, right? Who recently retired, right? One of his big things is helping animals, sheltered dogs, right? He's got a group that he works with, and he wants to put more time into that, right? He already knows his why. He knows how deep it is. Yeah, there you go. Trader Will said, great blog, How the Wealthy Make Money. Yeah, it just came out, right? I mean, guys, that's what it's all about, right? So anyway, great to be back. And what a day for it, huh? I mean, with the way the markets are rocking, China coming back to the table, life looking good, the Democrats blowing themselves up on TV. I love seeing de Blasio just, goodness gracious, he can't be mayor of New York. He wants to be president of the United States. We had a family barbecue yesterday for birthday party for my 2 daughters. And one of the people that were there is very heavily in politics and said that his understanding was the only reason de Blasio even ran is there's an $8 million super PAC money that he gets, whether he runs or not, wins or not, goes forward or not, he gets the $8 million. So good or bad, I don't know. But the markets are definitely liking what we see. Yeah, appreciate it, Robert. Thank you. Missed you guys as well. All right, cool. So Patterns in a Flash coming up on July 2nd, which is tomorrow, Tuesday. July 3rd is our next Trading You. Monster Market Moves, the one we did last week was fantastic, guys. So make sure you get to the next one if you did not get there. And guys, if you register very late, and I mean within the last hour before it starts, just make sure that you focus on that email that you'll receive with the link to get there, right? Make sure you're sending us some emails if you don't see it, because our last email goes out 1 hour before with the link to get into the class. So if you come in earlier or later than that, you may have missed it, and we're doing it manually, right? Free workshops, of course, here we are, Power Hour. Tony's next Patterns today is going to be on July 17th. We'll be teaching E-mini Think Tank tonight, our Trader Talk. I'm excited for that tonight with the way the markets are rocking right now. Power option plays, we're up just under $700,000 for the year. And I have not made the phone call to Amelia yet, but I mentioned this yesterday. Amelia and I will be talking today or tomorrow. Guys, we're going to have all the on-demands are going away this week, right? This week will be the last time you can get them. They still will be at $59. You can get access to them. If you haven't watched them, you will. I mean, I can guarantee you, if I ask right in this room, If you guys had to pick out one, if you had, those of you that have attended any of the workshops that are on here, Cheapskate Trading, Fib Secrets, if you had to pick out one of them, which one would you say was your favorite? Although you would say that is a don't miss, you got to watch this one, you got to attend that. Which one do you guys think? Yep, Diane said Fib Secrets, first thing thrown in there, right? Let's see. Yep, Trader Will said Fibs. Yep, got it. Number 3, Cover Call Explorer was Jeff. So guys, here's the thing. I guess what I'm getting at is with this. So Amelia, you already adjusted it down to the $59. No coupon code needed. Okay. So Amelia already adjusted down, guys, the pricing for $59. There's no coupon code needed. So for each of them, they're at 59 bucks, right? So take advantage of them if you haven't. Great opportunity, right? Karen said, sorry, just joined. Is Patterns in a Flash class live Q&A? Yes, Karen. So the Patterns in a Flash that Tony's doing tomorrow night, that is a live 1-hour workshop that he will be doing, that he does for his group of students, where I listened to him the last one he did, and he was absolutely hysterical listening to some of the stuff that he came up with, right? But really key, critical trading information. So, and he does it for free. And I say free, it's part of your subscription, right, into Patterns in a Flash. So, awesome. So guys, take advantage of them. Amelia dropped a link in the chat box there, back to the store, and then you can take it right to the, let me see, I'm already logged in, so let's see, right? So here are the workshops, right, on demand, down here, right? Once you click on that link, right? We probably need to pull that one-on-one with Rob out of there, Amelia. Actually, don't worry about it. We've got a whole new page coming here, guys, for this. So all of this is changing. But anyway, Amelia dropped it in for you, so you guys have access to it now, right? Make sure you're following along with us on the social media platforms that we have. I know some of you don't want to get on social media. You don't want to share with the world. Don't share anything. Go ahead, set up a fake account on whoever, right? I probably have tons of accounts for different businesses and things like that, right? Pages and such. Go set up another account or an account. Don't post on it. Don't give any information on it, and just like or follow what we do on Locals. Right, there you go. All right. So guys, let's go take a look at the market. Right, it is every bit of it, all of it. That gap up. Well, actually, let's do it this way. Let's go look at the ES. I didn't get a chance to send a quote out, a tweet out this morning. Again, still dealing with that same family member stuff. So if you look, this is a 5-minute chart of the ES, right? And if we look right here, this is 627, right? Which 627 was when, right? 627 was Friday, correct? 28th was Friday. Okay. So here we got 627, right? Here we have 628. And now I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit. I'm going to keep a little bit of 628 on the screen right here, which is Friday. Right, 628, 1650, right? 628, 628, 630, right? So then we open up to the 30th, which is Saturday, right? Sunday night. So we open up, huge gap in the S&P, right? We come in and we roll back down, towards midnight or so. We get right here, right? It's July 1st, but it's still considered, this is the future, so this is still considered to be the overnight session, right? We get into the early parts of the market, 3 o'clock in the morning. We're at the European market right there, and we're already at the, the all-time highs forever, record all-time highs on the S&P. And then we pulled back a little bit, and we got over to 930, and we gave a bunch back since, but we've still had a nice move up from where the S&P closed on Friday. That 2953-ish level we're still up nicely, although we have pulled back a little bit. We've seen some retracement in the market. We were up a lot more on the Dow as well, right? But overall, the ES is the S&P 500. The futures, we've got some big moves going on in there based on what's happening in the marketplace, right? So when we look at the ES, we're seeing all of this downward pressure right now. We look at stocks, we look at individual stocks, and we look at, oh, let's do this, the net change. I need to still make some adjustments to this page here, but Amazon is up $30 right now, right? Let's get a better picture of it, okay? Amazon gapped up and has pretty much stayed right there, right? Google is up almost $18, gapped up, pretty much stayed right there. Booking is up $16, gapped up, gave a bunch back. Actually, let's see something here. Let's see. All right. So if we look just at the gap, not to the full stretch, but just to where we gapped from where we closed, right? This green line would be a 50% retracement. Those of you that are in TradeWatch alerts, you see it all the time as we go through with that. We had two of them that we sent up today. One of them didn't produce. The other one did. But we had a half gap fill come in there. Yeah, Amelia said she got a good spread off on Booking again. Amelia's doing spreads on Booking almost every day. She's doing weekly spreads. She's in, she's out. The goal is, 40, 50, 60, 80 cents for the day, in and out. One contract is 80 bucks, 60 bucks, 10 contracts, $600 or $800. It all depends. She's doing one contract to show that it can be done with a very small account, that you can do it. And she sends them to Sean every day, and Sean posts them on places like Twitter and things like that. So guys, you can follow along. That's some of the stuff that we talk about in the TradeWatch alerts. So when we look, yeah, so it was Booking, right? Yeah. When we look, CMG and Adobe were the two stocks, right? Adobe did not produce. And when I say that, Adobe gapped up. The note was we're looking at $300 potential run in the pre-market, and it did. It gapped and went right there. 299, 30, 40, whatever it was, right? 299 and a half. We're up a little bit higher in there. The other one was CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill. Gotta love it. And the note said, and I quote, CMG has a nice gap, look for half gap fill. That's what we sent out today. And what happened? CMG gapped from here to here. Right? A little hashtag. You can't see it. There's a little green line right there. Close enough, right? And did we get a half gap fill? So that we're talking about from 738, we'd be looking for a move down to 735. We got that $3 half gap fill within the next 5-minute candle. Great opportunity on there. And then we got a full gap fill before we started to recover, and then we've just followed suit with the rest of the market in there. So let me ask this. Just one for yes, two for no. How many of you have a game plan for how to attack the market? And it is attack, it's not play. How to attack the market on the open? One for yes, two for no. There's a lot more in here than what typing in, that's for sure. Okay, so for most, the answer is no. Excuse me, guys. Whew. Hey, Trip, glad you made it. So for most, the answer is no, right? Those of you, the few of you that did type in yes, okay, and we're getting more putting it in. Patricia, I was wondering when you were going to chime in there, okay? Those of you that did put a number one in there, short, sweet, you don't have to make it crazy. Tell me give me an overview of your open. What are you looking for? Are you looking at a gap trade? Are you looking at pivot? What are you looking at? What is it that you're focused on? What's your game plan for that open? Judith, is it good whiskey or is it cheap whiskey? Gargle with a little whiskey. All right, so Karen typed in gap fill, protect the gains that I got. Protect what she picked up, right? Okay, you got to have a plan. Trip typed in, see what happens, rarely trade until at least 10 o'clock. So you're watching the open, Trip, and your plan is not to trade for that first half hour. And it can be wicked stuff in that first half hour. There's no question. Patricia said power hour play, right? So the power hour trade that we do, which is the 9:30, 10:30 high and low. Some fell, some, yep. So Karen said some of the stocks moved today. Some fell down, some did not. Right. So a little bit wacky depending on the stocks you might have been following. Barry said, I put in orders for the next week. I do not play the open at all. The open is a necessary evil to me, and that's all. And but Barry, that's a plan. And you know whether it is a strength or weakness for you, whether you like it or dislike it, whether you get excited or terrified, you know that. And if you build your plan around that, that's really what it comes down to. Grant said no trades until after 10 minutes from the open, moving average trades with entries off of the daily charts. Right? Trader Will said S&P reversal works well. So using the trading clock, Will, is phenomenal, right? To be able to look at that trading clock and see where the trading reversals take place. Robert said, I don't discriminate on what time it is, baby. I'm taking the trade if it's there. Here, Robert, I'm with you. If the trade is there, I'm in. Right? Many of my day trades happen right on the open after that first minute or two. And if we look at CMG, it happened on the second candle today. Right? It says 9:40, which is the closing time of the candle. So 9:35 open, 9:40 close. You got the half gap fill right there. Little pop up. And actually, if you look, we pulled back, we got the reversal, the retracement came right back into the 50 percentile line, and that's when it failed and gave us the full gap fill. So all of this to say, you need to have a plan. You need to know how to attack the open, and your plan might be, I don't trade the open, and that's okay. Right, let's see, is Scalper Ed in here today? Sorry guys, I got to go up a lot of pages to get to ease. No, he's not here today. Scalper Ed doesn't trade the open. He doesn't like the volatility. He loves the lulls in the market. Lunchtime, man, that's his thing. He's rocking it at lunchtime. That's where he trades. So Amos said, did I use the 1 minute chart to help on the entry for CMG? So Amos, as the market opened up, this is what I'm looking at right here at my 4-pack. Right? I'm looking at all the charts. Let's see, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show the one in there, but so I'm looking at the entire thing, right? We had, if you look at bigger picture on CMG, and we're getting into some specifics on the day trades though here, but if you look at this, the trade setup on CMG, guys, how would you define CMG? Well, what pattern would you define CMG? If you're talking about what I should do with trading it today, what pattern would you define CMG to have? Okay. So a flag or a rectangle, Karen typed in a rectangle. Amos put in a pullback from Roman. dreaded box of neutrality trader will put in there, right? All on the right path, guys. All on the right path. The big picture, and I mean literally that big picture, is we've got this overall bullish move going on. But you cannot discount that that's not what's happened for the last 3 weeks. We've gone sideways. Amos said the same thing, box of neutrality. We've gone sideways. You've got to account for that. All right, you've got to account for that. So if I've got a bullish rockin' market and we get this big gap up, right, then the question is, are we going to see a reversal take place? So my big picture looking at the daily chart tells me that we're in a sideways to slightly downward drift of the market on CMG. We get the big gap up this morning on CMG, and we look at the 5-minute chart, right? And the overall pattern of the 5-minute chart, we're going back, what, 6 or 8 days or so. The overall pattern of the 5-minute chart says to me, ugly. Just very, 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 very ugly, right? I don't have a lot of good consistency in here unless you're looking at trading these waves, right, that are coming down, right? Then we had the sideways, we had the move up, we get the next move up, and now we're waiting to see what happens now. Don't worry about this horizontal line right in there for now. Okay, just move it out of the way. So I'm looking at the 5-minute chart. It's overall in the last day or so, day and a half, excluding today, of course, but it had a bullish tint to it. So we get the gap up, right? I look at the 15-minute chart. A little more consistency on the 15-minute chart, right? I do notice that we've, on these recent highs in here, oh, wait a second. Oh, you guys see it? All right. On the recent highs we had put in here on that gap up back on the 25th or 6th or whatever it was, we pushed right into that this morning. So we had a resistance right where we were set to open up today, or near where we opened up. And it did push up and failed off of there and gave just an amazing opportunity for a gap fill as it did. But the 15-minute says, all right, last couple of days we were bullish, but before that we were not. So I wouldn't call it a bullish position, but the pattern had a slight bullish tint to it. And then back to where this all started, Amos, of would I look at the 1 minute? Absolutely. I go into that 1-minute chart to help tweak the entry. And now if we kind of jump into the one, let's see. Okay, we can still see it from here. Yeah, we still see it from here. Okay. Just want to make sure that we could still see where those recent swing highs were, right? Remember I said 25, 6, whatever. This might be 24. Yeah. So the 24th, 25th, right, in there, 24 and 5, right, where that gap took place. We had that high in there. Well, Amos, we came back into that today on the 1-minute chart, and it made it an easy decision of the pullback. Brenda, I'm okay with the 3, but I don't use 3, and not for this. I don't. My 4-pack consists of a 1, a 5, a 15, and a daily. Most people, if they're using a 3, they use it in place of a 5. They're looking for a faster price action with a 3-minute moving average, with a 3-minute candle there. To use a 3 and a 5 is, to me, it's a little bit they're too close, and you can have some mixed signals trying to read both of them. It's using stochastics, RSI, and MACD at the same time, right? They're so close to each other. Pick one, go a direction, and call it a day. Maybe I missed that, Patty. Let me see something. Patty's talking about in pop. Let's go back and look at CMG. Yeah, Patty, you're right. So let me do this. So we've got a pivot of $30, right? So that means one day's move is about $15. We have about $15 inside of our dreaded box of neutrality. And it's funny, we would have gotten filled on the entry today for this. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Patty. It is the dreaded box of neutrality, and we called it a bullish trade. Take a bullish trade above X. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Good catch. Good catch on that. Oh, Brenda, good. I'm glad you see where I'm coming from with the 1, the 3, the 5. It's just a little bit too much in there with all of them. All right. So, Amos, to go back to it, exactly. You would look at the daily, make a decision what you think it's doing. Look at that 5-minute and look at the 15 for direction, right? So 1 day daily for direction, 15 for direction, 5-minute for current, 1 minute for a tweak. And what I mean by that is, use that to help me tweak the entry or exit into a trade. But I make my trading decisions based on what the daily chart looks like, right? So this is dreaded box of neutrality. So we had our rectangle in there, and our rectangle ran up to about that 745, 744 level. Yeah, about 744, right? So, and it went right down to 731. So 31 to 44, right? So based on the daily chart, I'm going to take the trade if I am triggered. Let's do this. Beautiful. Okay. If I am triggered, I will take the trade, but I take the trade based on what the 5-minute chart shows me is going on, not based on the daily. So now the 5-minute opens. I like the pattern. I'm looking gap fill, and now I'm going to jump over to the 1 minute and use the 1 minute to tweak me into the gap fill. Does that make sense, Amos? Yes? Okay. I was getting a little concerned I lost you guys. I hadn't seen any more texts come through. Perfect. You're quite welcome, Amos. You're quite welcome. It was a great trading day so far today. Robert, how did you like trading day so far today? There's some great opportunities through the day. And Judy, what about you? Guys, I'm calling out to people that trade the markets, right? Roman, did you get some trades off today? How about you, Amos? Whoops, let's see, it jumped on me on the chat box. Okay. So Roman said he got some futures trades off today. Excellent. Good. Hey, Ed, glad you made it. $300 on the day. There you go. All right, Ed, fantastic. Brenda, what happened? Did your fax machine keep ringing? I mean, she said she missed all of them because of the fax machine. Patty said I got Netflix today. Let's look. Look at that gap on Netflix. A little bit of a retracement, right? But certainly a good pullback and bounce. Very nice. Oh, well, okay, just making sure. Kevin said, no trades for me today. Issues with my broker's charting software. Okay, so understand, and we get that. I get it with TradeStation once in a while where it just kind of gets flaky. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I hear you. We all have family stuff that gets in our way, medical stuff and so forth, right? And you got to learn to work around it the best you can. All right, so someone had asked about the review. So Karen said, wait. So, all right, I see. Do you pick 3 or 4 to focus on, or do you do a quick review of all of them on the open? So, Karen, for me, I go through and I look at my my power option plays tracking sheet, and I make some decisions based on that. So when I have an order in for Baidu that says if I get a pullback, we're going to take that trade, or on Biogen, or Booking, or CMG. I mean, we had orders in for all 4 of these to take trades. And we had a lot of day trade potentials in there. We had Netflix, that we have an open trade on Netflix. Netflix hit a high of about 377, 376. Yes, Patty, that's why I'm laughing. That's why I am laughing. So, let me do this. All right. Let me go ahead and open this up. Okay, so let me grab the tracking sheet from Power Option Plays. We're looking at Netflix. Let me just kind of put those away. All right. And we had no exits on it to this date. Okay, to this point. So here is the Power Option Plays tracking sheet. Right? Well, at least the 2 lines of it that I'm showing you, the S&P, which I meant to pull that one back, but I don't really care. Netflix is all I really am concerned with. So Netflix, we said we're bullish bias, right? And we had a target of 376 and 394. We were managing the open trade. So I told everybody yesterday, Sunday, in our update, that if it gets to 376, now that would be our resistance, right? If we go to Netflix, 376.21 is our resistance. So $1 below there, we would go to about 375, and that would be our target, right? Today, we opened at 373.50, ran at 376.66. Folks, I want you to understand, based on Fibonacci's, based on Fibits, which is what that is, a Fibit, based on that, we took this trade, right? Well, we took it the other day. We took it on based on Fibs, and we had that 376 target, which means we're getting down to 375, right? So if I take this and go ahead into our trade tracker open, I was wondering why it was so much profit there. So I put it in here, and there's the 375. We got it at 362.5. We got out of 2 contracts at 375, right? $1,950 is the profit on the 2 contracts so far, give or take, depending on how quickly you were able to get into the trade or not when you initially, when you took the order, took the entry. So you're talking about $1,950 of profit. Actually, this trade takes us over $700,000 for this particular trade. Okay, Patty, I saw it. I just saw what you were writing in there. I just had the screen blocked, so I wasn't. I can't share everything, right? You guys, so many of you are in Power Option Plays. It's not fair to you guys. So I just shared what we did with Netflix and showed the sheet here just for Netflix, right? So 376 was our first target. We have $1,950 locked in on 2 contracts, just 2. You basically have paid for 3/4 of a year of power option plays with 2 contracts. Just 2. 3/4 of a year on 1 trade. So, guys, how was last month for you guys? Did you guys have a good month? The month of June, was it a good month? One for yes, 2 for no. And we had a $36,000 week last week. Right? A couple of yeses, couple of nos. Right? We had a $36,000 week last week and a $154,000 month. I love the crappy months. You know, all my superstars, guys. I appreciate it. All right, so Netflix, I don't remember who had put the Netflix in. But guys, it went right to our target. We got out of it right at the target. First exit only. We're only at a first exit. We still have half of our trade left open. We move up our stop. Life is good. Let's see. Just looking at reading the text, guys, making sure I'm not missing something. That's okay, Amos. Listen, again, you got a business to run, man. That's why you're doing what you're doing. Toss keeps asking me, locking me up due to pattern day trading rules. And yeah, just horrible, that stuff. Yeah, you're right, Grant. Be careful how much you made. They're going to want to tax you on it. So what are you talking about, Brenda? What we're doing here now? Let's see. Trip said, yeah, we'll do that, Trip. Let's go look at some candidates because we're getting short on time. So Trip wants to take a look at Micron, MU, right? This has been a long bear, sideways, long bear, just a long time. Sideways move, finally on the earnings, gap up, boom, 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 good runs, although they're running out of steam every day, it seems, for the last 2 days. But overall, well, downside 38, upside 44. Fib is still good. Didn't quite get a Fibonacci 4-step trade in there, but we did get a nice bounce from the earnings. Hey, I like that, Patty. Trips Trio. There we go. Let's see, NVIDIA. All right, so NVIDIA had a good gap up today, Trip. We did move today. Let's see. Let me go here, right? I just want to see what Friday's close looked like. I don't remember. Okay, so we were in a bullish territory, but not really an acceptable bull because the 8 was still not the highest moving average. We crossed up today, thank goodness, right? So let's go back to an F6. All right. So based on that right now, we're looking at 178 as the upside and the 8 moving average, which is a moving target right now, but about 160-ish is our 8-period moving average, right? And then Itty Bitty Machine is the next one. They have earnings coming out in a couple of days, Trip, right? So obviously make sure you confirm on that. All right, good, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So nice pattern move, Trip. I mean, when you look at it, we had to pull back to the 236, a little bit below it, which is hesitation point. We hesitated at the Fibit. We hesitated almost we could get a box neutrality in there, right? Good move up, and then we went back to sideways, hesitation again, back to the moving average, gap up today to the next resistance. So that 141 and 145 would be resistance. Looking at the 8, which is 138 and 137 as the downside targets. There is some confluence at the 137 with the 21 EMA. Let's see. Barry said, I had a great credit spread on General Dynamics, but it cost me much money during the last 4 hours before expiration because a new plane was just certified and the stock jumped up and clobbered me. Oh, the day before I had an adjustment to save me, but I eliminated it since I thought the stock would be steady. I didn't know GD was going to have good news. Right? And that's part of the game, Barry, right? But Barry, here's my question for you. Could you have gotten out of the trade for a small amount? Could you have paid 5 cents, 10 cents, depending on what you took for credit, maybe even 15 or 20 cents, and gotten out of the trade a day or 2 or 3 early and not had that whipsaw take place? Just curious how the option had looked earlier. Because I've done that many times. No, I don't want to spend the money to buy it back. I'll wait. Wham. Here, kitty, all over again. All right, good, Brenda, good. Darlo, how do you deal with the taxes? Do you have it set up as a business or an LLC? Yeah, I mean, we have businesses. Guys, I'm incorporated in multiple states. All right, I have entities in different states. I have New York, I have Nevada, I have Wyoming. I have multiple states that I'm incorporated in or structured in, right? So based on that, Darlo, there are things that you can do. You know, the speaker, the coach that I learned from, the very first instructor I ever saw, he was okay. He was a good trader, but not really good as a coach, right? He wasn't a good trainer or a teacher. He was a good trader, though. And as we were in the class, he used a phrase that I have stolen ever since. You know, there are parties that you and I are not invited to. Parties that people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett go to. And they talk about stuff that you and I have no idea what they talk about, right? And the things that they're basically talking about is how does Warren Buffett pay less taxes than his secretary does, right? So getting an understanding of what people do, Darlo, and for everybody, is going to be important. Right now, you're not going to have individuals talking about tax strategies openly like that. That's why you work with the tax guys that we work with, right? Because they absolutely are the experts at how to protect yourself with this stuff. Before we started Wealth Builders, guys, there was another company that I had done some work with, and the owner of the company, I introduced him to my tax guys. And he's talking about buying buildings and doing all of these things with the profits, but after the fact. And even though he went ahead and did it, he bought a building without really telling anybody after the fact. Then he went to the attorney who said, yeah, that's not going to help you any. You're still paying the full tax on it. Right? He had no idea how to structure and protect himself. He does now because the attorney that who used is phenomenal. Right? That's what they do. Don't go to your sister's or your, your wife or your husband's sister's spouse or what. Don't do that, right? Get someone that knows what they're doing with this type of stuff, right? You can, Darla, you can protect a lot of what you have with very little understanding of how to do so. What I mean by that is you don't have to get crazy, nutty, silly, and be incorporated in multiple states and all that. I've got businesses structure that I've got all of that for purpose. That I have it for, right? I don't own 1,000 companies, but I own a few. Darlo, does that help? Is that kind of what you're looking for? Yes? Okay, good. So Ed said, I need to expand my learning. I saw your point about the four-legged stool, and I am interested in looking more into expanding my learning. There you go, Ed. And if you remember in that four-legged stool, guys, if you've watched that video, and it's on YouTube, I think it's on YouTube. right? Did we start the one on the website? Where did you see that? Was it YouTube or was it in the TV area? Where is my website? There we go. It's the bad thing of having 6 monitors going. Nope. So it must be on. So it was on the website. So where do we have it? Power hour, I want to be a trader, covered call options, E-mini, futures trading patterns today, trading the upcoming storm. I'm not sure. Amelia, where do we have it put at this point? But guys, the basis behind the four-legged stools is not that you go ahead and trade all of your money for the same purpose. I use options for building long-term wealth. I use covered calls for retirement, and I use futures for paying the bills. Right? Different purpose, different reason. Right? Different trade setup, which is what Ed is referencing. What Ed's getting at there is to be able to do that. Right? Yes, Larry, that's exactly who it is. Yeah, Brenda, you want someone in Nevada to help you with that. Oh, in today's email. Okay, I got you. So you're talking about the email we sent out. I haven't even seen it yet. I've been too busy to look at anything today. Forgot all about what we had going out. Whoops. Okay. Jim said, can you own a company and all you do is trade the market? Can you receive business deductions? So Jim, the key question is what type of company? So the way it was explained to me, and guys, I am not a tax attorney. I can't legally tell you what to or not to do here, right? So you got to be very cautious there. You want to deal with the folks that know what they're doing with this. Now, with that being said, I know a little bit. And what I was told by the attorneys is if you set up as a C corporation, as an example, you could be deemed as a holding corporation, a holding company, 0 deductions and 50% tax bracket. So that's why you set up multiple entities. That's why you set up an LLC or an LP and a C corporation. There are reasons for using both in conjunction with each other to get the maximum tax benefits. Yes, it's another tax return. It is. I mean, guys, I have a spreadsheet to keep track of what I do with taxes because I also don't file anything on time. Anything on time. You're cuckoo in the brain, according to the attorneys, if you do that. Their words, not mine. Filing on time is a mistake. Yep, just said I'm in the same boat, right? I've got both. Brenda said, can I do it through LegalZoom? You know, Brenda, anybody could set up an entity. You don't need LegalZoom. You can set the entity up yourself. How do you make the entities talk to each other? That's the hard part. And that is not what LegalZoom will do for you. I have LegalZoom as a for help. I've done stuff with them before. It's just not what they do. Yeah, Darla said he and his brother are always filing extensions. You have to. You gotta file them. Patty said, do you think you'll eventually put together a wealth assets program? Yes, we will, Patty. We absolutely will. Let's see. All right. So Barry said, my adjustment would have saved me, but a day after putting it on, I took it off. The stock jumped about $2.50, $2 of which was in the last half hour of trading. Right, but Barry, it goes back to credit spreads. You always look to wind that spread out. And, you know, if you're trying to get the last drop out of the jar, is it worth it? Especially if you could free the money up and use it again for another spread for next week, right? Diane said it's not about setting up the entity. That can be easy. It's all about the tax advice and the planning. That's all of it. Yes, on the Wealth Assets Program, Patty, we definitely will do something with that. Absolutely. Amelia has been on me for a long time now to do something. It's on the docket to be done. We're just not there yet today. All right, so guys, let's go look at a couple of candidates. XRX, which is Xerox, which William put in. So XRX, yeah, I mean, there's just nothing in there for fib, at least not here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and delete that out of there for now. All right, so our fib is going to go all the way back here. So I'm looking on the top like I'm on TradeStation now. All right, so there's the fib. All right, guys, hold on a second. I decided to open the window today and the landscapers are out. So I figured let me close it up so you're not hearing that noise in the background. So we're looking at William 37 and 35.5 for support and resistance in there. Moving averages are in a good place. Bumped its head on that 35.60 for a while. So good to see that it worked through it. All right, so trying to see where this, we had a couple of symbols were typed in there and it just got pushed. All right, so Brenda's asking for the Qs. QQQ, so we're looking at 191 as resistance, 188 as support. We're kind of in the middle of it right now. We're actually at a fibit between those two levels. You know what, let's, since we've been dropping, let's just go ahead and do a quick update again. Okay. Apple. So we had Apple down as a day trade, gapped right up to resistance, so no day trade taken on that. We're looking at about 200 as support and 208 as resistance. So I definitely want to see it get back closer to support before taking a trade. And then Larry was asking for moving averages. No, I'm kidding. MasterCard, MA. Right, earnings coming up, so be cautious on the earnings. We did break through that negative 272, which is a hesitation point. It pulled back. We're looking at about 263 as support, 260, 257, all the way in there. We've got three levels. And then 269, 273 as our resistance on MasterCard. Let me go ahead and bring this back. Sure, Karen. Qs, right? So 188 and 191 are support and resistance on the Qs. So Barry, self-employed trading status. There is case law that our attorneys told us about that one gentleman had become very successful trading. So as I'm telling this this component of the story, Barry, just type in and tell me, are you setting up a separate entity? If so, is it an LLC, an LP, a corp? How does that work, right? For what you're saying in there, right? Which is self-employed trading status. Anyway, so back to this. The gentleman had made a killing in 9 months. He took 3 months off from trading. Full-time income was trading. He took 3 months off, went to Vail, to Colorado to ski. He filed his tax returns. The IRS audited him because he checked the box that said trader status. They audited him and they found out that he took the 3 months off to go skiing, and they said, no, you're not a trader because people can't take 3 months off and go skiing. And they took away any deductions whatsoever from him as a trader status. Yeah, so I am not sure of it, Barry. So I would be cautious. I would definitely talk to, like the attorneys that specialize in this that are not trying to set you up as trader status. I think the trader status becomes alluring because it's cheaper. I don't have a whole lot to do. But the way the IRS code reads, again, the way that the attorneys read it to us and their interpretation of it, not mine, their interpretation of it is you cannot take the deductions unless you are in stock market education, unless you are a business. So as my own entity, my own C Corp, S Corp, LLC, I could take the deductions for stock market education because I'm trying to grow my business profits. Or you don't have to be in a business. You could be a financial advisor. You could be someone that is an accountant, a CPA, and you're wanting to learn more about this. That's your field. You can write off stock market education. But the education component and some of the expenses that go with it become very questionable of whether or not they're write-offs as an individual. Right. Robert said, my understanding is it's very hard to get tax trader status. And I don't know the mechanics behind it. I am not the expert on that at all. I know the way that we do it, the way that I was taught to do it, what we do works. Okay? Just keep the phrase in mind, poor as dirt, right? That's what you want to look like, poor as dirt. Oh my goodness. When I explain why Apple is not a day trade today. Because Apple gapped up. Okay, so I'm looking at a bullish trade on Apple, which is what we had Apple down as, not necessarily trading against the grain on Apple with the move that we had in the market. Could you have taken Apple as it pulled back below that 203 level? Absolutely. You could have considered it there if you have enough room for the movement, which we don't. We don't have, we have $3 in here, 99 to 3, 4. Oh, we might. Yeah, we do just have enough in there. We haven't, no, we got 200. 203, we really don't. You don't have enough room in there for half the Fibit. You're welcome, Patty. Win. So let's go, since we're talking win on a gap fill, let's go look at the 4-pack. Right, so we had a nice gap up on win. Let's go look at the 5-minute chart. Right, we've got nothing further back. So I'm going to leave that and I'm going to go to a 15-minute chart. So in the 15-minute chart, we have nothing, right? So the gap fill is a lot harder to predict when you have nothing to predict it against. Now, there could be pivots up in there. I don't have them here. Let's see. Yeah, so the ones that I have on this one, the free one that comes with TradeStation, we blew right through those pivots. Let's go look at a daily chart. So we've got to go back a month. So now we look at a daily chart, right? And we've gapped up. We can see that there is some resistance in here, right? So yes, that definitely could be considered as a potential half gap fill. What do we got? 131 down to 123. 23, 230. No, down 23, down 24. $1.25. All right. So there's definitely enough potential for this one for a gap fill, but it didn't give it to us. Right? So who's that? Karen. Yeah, we just never got the opportunity to trade this one as a gap fill. But let's go back and look at it on the 5-minute chart. Right? First candle, we had a quick little pullback and then it just took off. So if you were in that trade, you would have been stopped out almost immediately. That next candle should have taken you out. All right, awesome. Wow, guys, we hit a plethora of topics here today that we touched upon. We got into all kinds of stuff here today. So, guys, was it helpful? Making some sense? Picking up little nuggets along the way? Very good. Very, 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 very good. Yeah, we'll work on doing something with the entities at some point, guys. We'll get it at some point. Right now, my bigger focus is pushing you guys into the component of learning how to trade effectively. Good, Brenda. Yes, Karen, we record it. We put this on the TV channel every week. It goes up on YouTube every week. Yeah, right, Robert. So Darlo's asking, where do you see some of the things on the website with the pricing and such for the store? So Darlo, when you go into the website, you have to be registered, not registered, well, registered, but you got to be logged in for the store button to even show. If you're not logged in, that store button doesn't even exist there. Once you are, click on store, and like I said, this entire page is changing. Right? There's going to be a lot more rhyme and reason to what it looks like. It's 3 wide by 3 deep. So there's 9 topics in there, or big picture, and then there's some things down below that. Larry, generally we're going to get the Power Hour video posted on a Tuesday. That's normally when we put it up there. Right? Sean will work on it in the afternoon if he gets the time. He'll download it, he'll tweak it, and then he will upload it to our hosting service for videos, and then the web guy will get it put up there as soon as he can. But usually it's by Tuesday. So those of you that missed the first half, you can watch that on YouTube. Right? And you can, guys, you do see it right in our TV channel. Right? There's Power Hour. Last one was 2 weeks ago. We didn't do one last week. Right? Click on it, you get a pop-up window with the video. Wow, I didn't know Sean put that on there. Right? So there it is. How the wealthy make money. What should I trade? Do you enjoy failure? That was a quick video, a cool video, I mean, to make. All right, there you go, guys. So go ahead. I'll leave the room open a couple of minutes. In the chat box, I know you dropped in that link for the online workshops, at $59. So take advantage of them. Yeah, promote my dog. Exactly, Judith. It's my daughter's dog. She said she wants someone going to pay her for him being in my recordings now. Like, you're nuts. Who's paying for his food or her food, doctor bills, and everything else? Got to pay you to use your dog. Yeah, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we have a holiday this week. So you're going to see Wednesday is going to be a light trading day. Caution, 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 caution coming into Wednesday. All right, just be careful there. And even on Friday, you're going to have people taking a long weekend. Excuse me. So, dog days of summer. There you go, Judith. I like it. I like it. You guys all have a great 4th of July. And remember what we're celebrating, folks. It's our freedom, right? The freedom to be able to trade the markets that we do. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor, a privilege, a joy, a pleasure to be here today. God bless, and happy trading, guys. I'll see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. See you all soon.